so important. Allow change to change you, because the change that is coming has been designed, created, meticulously planned to help entirety of your solar system. And here on Earth, you are really, really feeling it at this time. What I can tell you, this event would not be happening at this particular time in your universe if humanity were not at a point to reclaim their power.
And welcome everyone to our December Zac Chat. And of course, a very warm welcome to you too, dearest Zac. Zac, this is such an exciting time to be receiving guidance from you, especially with everything that's going on. And of course, we hear regularly from you over on Patreon, where I'm so passionate about your deep dives and your meditations. And this time in this Zac Chat, I have so many pertinent questions to ask you that I'd love to just dive right in. Is that okay with you, Zac?
It is, of course, as all things, perfect. Ha ha! Please continue, my dear. Please continue.
Okay. So, Zac, you said that there was a window of maybe more intense energy from the 11th to the 15th of December, and we are right in that window right now. So, can you help us understand what's actually taking place and happening within our consciousness right now?
So, we understand with chitty chats more than our deep dives. We need to keep it at nice high level, easy to digest. People are busy, busy, lots going on. Therefore, the most important thing to be aware of at this time is that there is pressure on your system. Okay, so let us talk about the macro first, that which is outside of yourself or seemingly so. Due to the presence, yes, of the celestial object known as Three-Eye Atlas, all the many other comets and others that are in its wake, the energy of such, as well as many of the different alignments, constellations, all sorts of things that are happening in your solar system and beyond, way, way beyond. It is making a very heady mix, almost as if you can imagine you're pouring a liquid through a funnel where this is being pushed upon the earth, pushed therefore upon your energy system. Now, before you think, oh no, this is actually a good thing. These energies that are coming are energies of the new era of heart transcendence. These are energies which, from a very practical point of view, is a regeneration. Just as if you have an allotment and you have worked over the land time and time again, you need to give new nutrients that it may not have in that soil that come from further afield. And this is the same thing. You are giving nutrients on energetic level through the plasma and other that is coming in. Now, of course, your body and your energy system has found a status quo that allows itself to have stability and equilibrium in the environment it is around in. The energy that is coming is disrupting that, but it is disrupting for the new. Like I say, it is pouring in vast amounts of energy, which you could say is light. This is a lighter frequency. Therefore, I can feel destabilizing, just as if when you stand up too quickly and you get a head rush. Ha ha! A lighter energy produces a level of instability first, and it needs to move through the natural resistance in your energy field to start to work. Therefore, of course, we have told many, many times of all the different influxes and then the alignments that happen at this particular moment due to the presence of where, as I say, the constellations, so forth, and the proximity as it is coming so close to your planet. This is when we anticipate in particular that humans will feel the pressure the most. This is why we have highlighted this window in particular. If it is before and after and thinking, but Zachariah, this is when I feel it more. Of course, everybody is unique. This is almost like the hot point, though, the crescendo point. And so the best thing that can be done with that is to let go into it and appreciate. We will move on to other questions regarding that, and we can weave in exactly how to do this, the practical ways. But do know this energy is for the benefit of the earth, benefit for you. This is not energies to resist. These are ones, it is a bit like a medicine coming into the body that at first the body may react to because it is unusual, but it is ultimately there for healing purposes. Understand? Yes. Does this make sense,
Mm.
my dear?
It does, and you've really covered quite a lot on the second question. But I think if we just spell it out, because many people are feeling overwhelmed, they're emotional, they're tired, maybe feeling strange feelings of activation. And, the body and our energy systems are doing their best to adapt. And when these sensations arise, can you explain a little bit more about what else is going on within our body and how we go on to achieve a sort of homeostasis again?
Mm. So we've just covered why the pressure is there.
Mm,
Now let us look at what that pressure feels like. Now, for some people, this will have a very strong physical response as it works both to the resistance initially. You can imagine if you are being asked to push, push, push against something that was being pushed upon you, you would get tired,
mm,
fatigue very quickly. If you were thinking of a physical thing, somebody with a cushion pushing at you and you were pushing back, it may
yeah,
feel a bit funny in the beginning, but then soon you would become tired, would you not?
mm,
So, for many people, there will be waves, and we're calling this very particularly this word waves of fatigue. This is very different from fatigue that comes through illness and burnout and other such things because it comes in waves. And what is happening is there will be waves of reaction in the energy system which resists. Now, this is not coming from, you think, well, surely if my energy system is resisting it, there's a good reason. It is just simply a primal force. This is part of being incarnated in a human body. You have ways of keeping the integrity, we'll go on to integrity of your body. And so at first, however, and we will move on to the ways of overcoming that, but
mm,
as you start to recognize or feel these waves of fatigue, you can place a hand on heart, even on belly as well. Gut reaction is a good one. And even say to yourself, is this fatigue coming from way outside of myself? Now, that is a very good, simple way of asking. There can be so many questions to ask to know, and you'll get a very strong yes or no felt in the gut or in the heart. And if you don't initially, then maybe you have to ask a few times. But this is one of the ways of identifying that this is what is happening. Even if you do not identify, what will actually happen is, of course, you can imagine the cosmos is far stronger than your own energy. So it will actually give in eventually, and the energy will come in. However, we would not wish for people to feel overly fatigued. So we will go on to the practicals, but first to know the other things. So there can be fatigue, there can certainly be lightheadedness, as we say, when the energy starts to filter in, you can feel a little bit ungrounded, a little bit more clumsy. You can become quite forgetful. And lots of things that people think, oh, well, I feel like that the whole time. This would be an amplified force. It can, of course, as any influx of new energy, it puts out the balance initially. And when balance is disrupted, just as you have dis-ease in the body, ease and dis-ease, this can also mean that weaknesses, whether it is physical, emotional, mental, or spiritual, can be amplified. Therefore, whether you find that you are becoming more emotional in any way, these can be actually very joyful emotions. You can think, oh, this is really silly. I'm laughing and happy and crying with delight on something that's happened to somebody else or something, I've seen on one of my devices. Why am I feeling so overtly energy? in this way. And this is simply about it being stimulated. But of course, it can be the other way. You can think, I don't know why, but for today I feel quite morose, quite depressed, or I have a hopeless feeling. Allow it to pass. Allow it to pass. And we will talk as well about acceptance very shortly. But these are things to know rather than to be too concerned about and say, what is happening? Know that in this window, this is the things that we are feeling, even a crisis of faith in spirituality. Maybe things that you believe in, know, feel very strongly, whatever they may be, that is perfect for you and the truth of you, you may suddenly find yourself having a little bit of crisis about. Again, this is riding the wave, allowing to move through. Shall we move through, my dear, into how to counteract these things?
Yes, I mean, just on what you've just said, would you say that this intensity is clearing, or it's an activation in some cases, or even a choice point for some people?
Ah, so no, it is none of them. Haha, unusual to say. There can be things that come from it. At the
Mm,
moment, this is simply a change, a very swift change in frequency, but even not quite as we've had before and going into. This isn't about moving the light into the body as we have been talking about in our deeper dives and in our
mm,
meditations and even in our chats over the last many, many months and even the last few years. At this point, this is more of a pouring in. This is the analogy of the tired soil in the allotment being fed new nutrients. Okay. So, as this is being fed, it is not that it is activating. This is not doing this. Think of the word alignment. Okay. What is
mm,
happening is allowing the energy to come in, and then your body, your energy, your etheric system will align to the new nutrients, the nourishment coming in, and whew, it'll be like a breath of fresh air. It will become so much easier, giving more impetus to the body to heal in new ways, to think in new ways, to create in new ways, to be in new ways, all
mm,
inspired by a lighter vibration that is so much more comfortable to be in. Does this make
mm.
sense, my dear?
Oh, what an absolutely brilliant analogy. Thank you. That's made something that I was really wondering about, and I'm sure many people were much clearer. Thank you for
Yes, so
aligning.
let's use this as a key word, alignment.
Hmm.
Alignment. And this is part of the help. So, how to work through? A couple of very simple to us. Aha! Even the 26th dimension. Understand, not so simple for humans, but work with it. Do not just put it aside, say that's a bit tricky. Okay. So the first one is acceptance. And we talk a lot about this, do we not, different Hazel in DB Dive? Yes. Our
Yes.
most recent, I believe. Yes. So when we come into acceptance, a lot more tricky to do than it sounds. Then rather than going into what do I need to do, processes, healings, all of this, again, just in a short-ish time period. Again, you can put hand on heart, hand on belly, hand on sacral, hand on third eye, wherever you are feeling that there may be a level of resistance. Okay? Just feel it. Where am I resisting? Or where am I just simply drawn to go? Even if you don't even think of the word resistance, where am I drawn to go? Put your hands there and say very clearly, at least 3 times. And it doesn't matter if it's out loud or internally, the universe will hear whether you're using your voice or not. I accept the love that is coming into me. I accept who I am in this moment in time. I accept I am part of this universe. Okay? Okay. So to use one of Janet's expressions, sounds a bit cheesy. Ha ha! The first one, I accept the love. We are talking about love in its purest form. This is the energy, the source energy of the universe. So by accepting the love that is coming in, what you are really referencing and putting out your desire to the universe is that you are accepting the energy that is being given to you. The other part, accepting yourself in the moment, not trying to heal it, even if you are in a process and you're thinking to yourself, well, I don't really like myself at the moment. This is not about the time of really going into that. It is simply saying, I accept myself. The more you accept yourself, the easier it is for the resistance to let go, because it is not having the micro battle within. It lets the macro, the outside come in and to fuse all of this together. And then by saying, I accept my part of this universe, or that I am part of this universe, zoop, suddenly the energy can come through because you are not seeing yourself as separate, different, obsolete, on the outside, an outsider. You are actually part of this universe. Everything here is part of the universe. Everything is its own importance and its integrity. And here we are talking about integrity of coming into wholeness, of not being corrupt inside by all the things that life throws at you. So those three statements. Again, we are keeping this high level because of chitty chat.
Mm.
And you may think, oh, this isn't high level, this is hard work, Zachariah. But just write them down. Get them on your notebook. Put them on your devices. Modern way. Do whatever you need to do to remember them. And you may want to do this 50 times a day, or you may do it once a day. Does not matter. But if you are feeling any level of discomfort, physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, and you are feeling particularly as well, I don't think this discomfort in this instance is of my making. Think
Mm.
about this, that this is a way to absorb the nutrients, absorb the new that is coming in, allow change to change you. Ha ha, I sound like a broken record. Do I not, different Hazel? So important at this time, so important. Allow change to change you, because the change that is coming has been designed, created, meticulously planned to help your entirety of your solar system. And here on earth, you are really, really feeling it at this time. Make the most of it. Yes, this is uncomfortable at this part. However, if you know that what you are doing will really help your system, then you can relax into it so much more. Accepting self, accepting the love coming in, accepting yourself as an integral part of the universe. Haha. Have I made the point clear? Haha.
You have. What an amazing teaching. Thank you for that, Zac. I think that's really so incredibly reassuring. Can we move on to speak about 3i Atlas? Many are calling it a cosmic messenger, and you've spoken today and at length about the renutrifying plasma gifts that it's bringing. From your perspective, what would you say is truly being communicated to humanity with the arrival of 3i Atlas?
Power. Ha ha. You weren't
Mm.
expecting that, were you?
No.
Power that is true power. The power that created the universe. The power that was in
Mm.
your soul that desired to have the incarnated life that you are having now. The power that you have to live and breathe and move through life. The power of nature to move through the seasons. Everything in your world, whether it is upon your earth or when you look up at the stars, has at its heart great power. Now, for many, many centuries, if not thousands of years, power has become corrupted in terms of what people think power truly is, how it has been utilized, how it has been manifested, and how it has been moved by a force that is not out of love. Okay?
Mm.
Now, this is not something of, oh my goodness, Zachariah, what are you hitting me with now? Have I got to think of that before next Tuesday? Ha ha ha. This has been ongoing for a long, long time. What I can tell you, this event would not be happening at this particular time in your universe if humanity were not at a point to reclaim their power. And when you think of power, if you like, think of it as a completely different word than the word that you grew up in, the word that you knew. This is not a power that comes from within, that is a desire to control or to
Mm.
overtake. The greatest power of all is to share our hearts with others, to share our energy with others, to be free, to be comfortable in a collective space, to
Mm,
not feel that power has to be over so that you can keep yourself separate and then safe. So
mm,
safety comes into this with power. So as well as all the nutrients, everything we were talking of, as it passes through, and we have not been able to speak about this aspect, and we will be speaking about it far more in the months to come.
mm,
The difference within, that is when it is going to make sense to you. Once everything moves through, you will have a different frequency within the word power, even saying the word power. Wouldn't it be wonderful, my dear, if we were to share soon a, a little meditation, ha ha, with everybody regarding power? This is
mm.
something that will be delivered when the timing is right. And
Great.
this is about reclaiming the true power of you as a fragment of this wonderful universe,
Mm,
you embodying the light, you still having your life personality, however, being a light beacon throughout this universe, a living, breathing, pulsing power. Ha ha! And this power is where you get things done. People have been feeling very closed off. Things that they've been trying to do keep hitting dead ends. Things that they have been pushing for. And they're saying, but everything, the signs are right, all of this. And it has been hard work. And those who had seemingly from the outside had all the power are the ones that were using it in terms of how humans have allowed it to be used for the last hundreds of years. However, the power is shifting and changing, and this is coming in and moving through people. And because this is throughout your whole solar system, you cannot get into a cave and say, I do not want this energy. It will get to you wherever you are. And
mm,
this will change people and change their ability to be able to evoke their power center and literally feed it with love. Again, not talking like romantic love or how people have often talked about love, source energy to illuminate, to become luminous beings of light that really do focus not only on the betterment of themselves but the betterment of all. And all is nature, all is animals, all is everything that is not only just this earth but even in the space beyond, the space that as humans now travel to, but also that they access through the quantum field. You understand? Yes. So
mm.
therefore, a little bit of a mic drop moment. Ha ha! Different heads are wanting to spend that in this chitty chat. The true essence, and this is the first time we can actually say this, that this is being brought that will really help humanity is the shifting change in power. And that every blade of grass, every person, whatever their circumstances in the world, is shifting and changing and having their power centers reactivated to how it should be in a sacred environment. Understand? Yes.
Mm. Oh, wow, Zach, power of love. It feels like this is an era so many of us have been dreaming of and looking forward to fully embody. Not only do we have Three Eye Atlas coming, but we also have the solstice. And this upcoming solstice feels unusually potent. Can you share more about this gateway and the deeper state of renewal that we're stepping into? I know you've hinted about that already. What would you say renewal actually looks like in our daily lives?
So we are expecting come the solstice point, whether it is summer or winter solstice, wherever you are in the
Hmm.
world.
Yeah.
This is the point where we expect the majority of the integration to be happening from everything we have just been speaking of, to pass the point where there is resistance within people. And therefore, as you say, endings and beginnings, you come to the end and you directly move into the renewal state.
Mm,
Now, it is a wonderful thing, a solstice. It is like the moment between the in breath and the out breath, the moment of anticipation and potential. So, therefore, you can rest on that day. Even if you're working and you are busy, take a little bit of time on that day, and ideally the few days either side, to claim into your heart what you actually want the renewal to help you with. If you are reflecting on everything that we have just been speaking of, and you think, yes, you are going to get nourishment into your system on every level that is going to help repair, heal, but also generate new creativity in all those aspects: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. And now you also know that you are going to have power energy coming in. Take a little bit of time, maybe even write down, allow your thoughts to flow from your heart. What do you really honestly in your heart need in that renewal? Now, for some people, this will be very obvious. Maybe they're in poor physical health or other, and they say, this is what I really need help with. And then as you do this, reclaim it into your heart. Say, this is where we are wanting to first almost funnel that energy towards. However, even noticing now how you have your own internal reactions, as we have been speaking about power, this is a big one for most people. You can actually say to yourself in this quiet moment space of potential between the ending and beginning, how would I truly desire, heart's desire, power to be reflected in my life? Maybe it is power over your physical self, your emotions. Maybe it is power in a situation. Maybe it is the power of how you live your life. Maybe it is a collective power, the power of the people to restore order to places where you feel like it is really gone awry and is not in benefit of the planet, of nature, of animals, of people. So this isn't about actually setting out a stall and writing, pages and pages. I need to get this right. It is a feeling. Go with the feeling. Because your heart's desire is constantly communicating to all the cells and all the energy and ethericness of your body and your whole state of being, it is starting to direct, a bit like a conductor with an orchestra. And it can say, look to this first. It is a bit like striking up the wind instruments before others. So this is a way, the orchestra is still there within you. However, you are starting to ask and be the master, the self-mastery here of how you want it to be. So the renewal will look different for everyone regarding your question, dear friend Hazel.
Mm-hmm.
However, renewal will be happening. You can take the helm and start to, as I say, sort of direct it a little bit there to help yourself. However, it is just as beneficial to relax in that state, to actually honor what has gone before, a bit like a ritual of a solstice, and say, everything that is gone has made me the person that I am now, and accept that person. Open your heart to the new. Open your heart to what is coming. Open your heart to the new energy. Allow it to change you. Allow the renewal to happen. Because a wonderful thing, just, dark is before dawn and the sun coming up on the new. These new ways of being within you will serve you, my dears. This is
Mm-hmm.
not to discombobulate. This is not to have more things to work on. This is not, oh no, I know how to do this. This is a gift. This is an absolute gift that is not only here for the universe. This has come from further than your keyboard of the universe. Other dimensions are involved in this. This is a gift of the god from the gods, you could say. This is a gift from other dimensions. You would not be able to comprehend the amount of energy and the complexity that has gone through this, not just to help you, but the entirety of your solar system, and put a lot of things into balance for the future. And therefore, I would say soak it up. Be like a big sponge. Open your arms wide to the heavens and say, I am here. Yes, please douse me with this energy and allow it to align within you. Understand? Yes.
Wow. Yes, absolutely. And Zac, I know that you shared quite a bit about opening your arms and receiving this new energy in your latest meditation that, we have for our patrons on Patreon. Would you like to just share a little bit more about these key messages that you shared on the 1st of December? for those people who've really loved what they've heard so far today and would like to find out more from your guidance and your teachings?
Yes, so in DP dive, we were talking greatly into the frequency of integrity, curiosity, and many other aspects. These are things to ponder on, haha, to wander the lanes of wonder. These things will help you. I would even go so far as to say dramatically at this
Mm.
period of time. When you understand your makeup to this level that we cannot go to, unfortunately, in chitty chat, although I do like to be able to disseminate so much information. Haha, it's hard to keep it short, is it not? Uh,
Yeah.
in DP Dive, we can go so much deeper, and they are also, of course, richly encoded in transmission energy to help you to start the process. Now,
Mm.
the meditations, uh, which are very cleverly, ha ha, he says also humbly, ha ha, are designed to help you with the process so that with all of this, going through your mind and all the things, we understand that on your planet, December anyway is always a very busy month. Lots of commitments, family commitments, friend commitments, and just generally commitments happening at this particular time. We want to make it as easy as possible. This is what we are here to do, to be your friends, to hold your hand, just like when you are overwhelmed in life and you turn to your best friend and they take the weight off. This is
Mm.
something that we are also doing here with the meditations. This particular one, uh, already those who have been using it. It is quite interesting to see how difficult many of them are to stay awake. Ha ha! And this is because there is a soothing quality to the energy throughout, and you will be gifted, as it were, those from many, many other realms who have the ability, who have already gone through these processes to simply soothe your energy and move through it. This is probably the easiest way to say, so that you can be in joy, you can be in bliss, or even if you are in great discomfort, you can take some time out with it. And allow yourself to be, well, we were using the term waves, were we not? So carried upon the waves. This particular meditation is very simply, you know how much I like words. I think probably the only meditation we've done which is one word name, is it not? Which is
Yes, I
simply
think.
called integrity. And you will discover from the deeper dive what the true meaning and the frequency when you say the word integrity, and when you actually welcome in the frequency of integrity into your being, what it does to harness, to align, and to bring together all the parts of you, which then has a knock-on effect of helping to excuse this body, to let down any of the resistance and so forth. So I think we have really worked on such a good big package from every
Mhm.
direction. So you can do all the work yourselves, my dear, of course. However, if you come and join us, you can sit back and let us do a lot of it for you. Ha ha! That is probably the best way to put it, is it not, different, Hazel? We are here to help, though
Absolutely.
we are here to serve.
Oh, Zach, that's so lovely. And your meditation is absolutely stunning and one of my all-time favorites, I can already say. Zach, I know we're short for time, so I wonder if there's anything else that you would like to share with us as we really go through this whole December gateway with Three Eye Atlas and with our solstice and move into the new year.
Stay grounded, okay? If nothing else, you think, I can't remember a single thing that Zachariah has said or anyone else, and I am feeling so discombobulated, I'm feeling so odd, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that. Ground yourself. You hear me say this so many times. However, the earth is ahead of the game. It has already taken in, because it soaks up like a sponge. It doesn't have it's a different type of emotion that the consciousness and high consciousness of the earth and nature feel, and indeed of animals. They accept, just like they accept the changes in nature, the changes in weather, and so therefore they are just simply absorbing. It is only humans on the planet who have this natural resistance state. Therefore, if you ground into the earth, into nature in any way or any other form that you like to ground with, then this will actually help stabilize you. This will help, because the more ungrounded you feel, the more odd you feel. It is natural. It is like a prickly uh, outer, like a hedgehog or a porcupine that sticks out its spikes. You'll feel even more resistance for a time, and that can become uncomfortable. So keep grounding, keep centering, lots of very good high frequency water, my dears. More important than ever that your water is very, very pure. You can bless it. There's all sorts of things that you can do to it. You can simply hold it and pour your love into it. Or simply say, this new energy, can it just be filled up in my water jug? But
Mm.
keep doing this because it is highly likely that people will feel far more dehydrated because there's a lot going through your nervous system. Your nervous system takes up a huge amount of water in your body. It uses it as circuitry. Therefore, as you're getting a pressure and the nervous system is being very much more activated, maybe 10 times each day, far more so than it normally would be, you can imagine it is using more water. So these very practical things. And of course, you may feel at times that you need to eat more than you have been or eat less than you have been. This is really a time to follow your instincts and not just what the season is telling you to eat. Haha. Although it is a good time for cake, is it not, this time of the year? And so it is really going back to the basics, going back to these very straightforward things to really give you the foundation so that you can absorb and really enjoy as you move into next year, as the changes start to become apparent in the whole of the world, not just internally within yourself. Understand? Yes.
Mm. Oh, Zach, your perspectives are always so uplifting and so reassuring. And I think people can navigate the challenges that we have here on Earth, certainly within families, within politics, and all sorts of things, so much more easily when we take on board the perspectives that you share and the joy that is radiating from you when we hear you talking of the future, when we're all renutrified and we're fully aligned with the new energies, then it feels as though this is going to be such a significant shift for all of us into
Oh,
a more
yes.
positive way of living.
Let's call it epic. Haha. That's what we're
Epic.
going for. Let's be epic. You're all here together on this planet. Stop fighting each other and come together, come together collectively and see what you can do. It's good,
Yeah.
eh?
Yes, absolutely. Zach, for those people who are concerned about the digital ID, is there anything, just a highlight you could share, just so that they can also feel deeply reassured, with any luck, from what you share?
Mm. This is certainly something that is opening a whole brand new topic.
Mm.
Lots, 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 lots to say. Haha.
Yeah.
But if you would like almost like a little just one takeaway at this
Yeah.
time, it would be many of the issues that are coming up, new concerns such as this that you maybe you not have 10 years ago, 20 years ago, can all be uh, utilized with this new energy and power. So
Yeah.
everything that you are seeing in your life, from the macro, from the outside, as well as from the inside, of course, but particularly there, that may be concerning you, and you're thinking, this is not right. This is not where it feels like a good thing to be heading. Just know as the energies that are coming in, as we all say, dear friend Hazel, the universe is ahead of time. It is coming up with solutions constantly to every problem that humanity goes and creates. It's
Mm.
a bit like a mother or a father or, an adult figure that is looking at a toddler and seeing, the dangers that are all around it. And they're clearing them up before the toddler even gets there. And this is
Mm.
what the universe is often doing. Therefore, trust. At the moment, trust that the energy that is coming, that is going to be infused within you, will be giving new ways of doing things and new ideas, new incentives, and different things to be able to counteract different things that are coming in. You understand? Yes. So we can
Yeah.
talk about this over time. However, until the energy is fully merged, it is a bit too tricky to because you will not be able to comprehend what could
Mm.
actually be happening. Understand? Yes.
Yes, from what you've just said, people can perhaps shift into a place of trust that everything is being kind of managed, or it has been seen by the universe. As you say, the solutions are already coming down, and that the energy will start to change everything.
Mm. So it's not that we are getting involved, saying, oh, that doesn't look right, and so therefore
Mm.
some invisible force will change it.
Mm.
Because of this spiritual maturity, very useful word here. We have been talking about spiritual maturity for many years, have we not? Different Hazel. And this is not just self mastery, this is about spiritual maturity rather than just fixing things, which is what has happened over a very long time for humanity when things have got really awry. And those invisible forces have had to just come in and fix things. So, a bit like Earth doesn't get broken.
Yeah.
What is actually happening now is the tools are being really put into people. That doesn't sound very good. Sounds like we're putting, a spanner into your into your solar plexus or something. What we mean by this is the energy is changing so that you will have new different types of tools from within to then be able to work through and to shift and find the answers to these
Mhm.
questions, to these
Mhm.
issues. So the
Mhm.
trust really is the trust that you and all of humanity are changing so that these things can actually be addressed and changed. Understand?
Wow.
Yes.
Perfectly said, Zach. And on that incredibly reassuring note, it's time to say goodbye. But many people watching will see just how passionate I am about Zach's messages, and just how they really help us get in touch with our own source, our own hearts, and shift our frequency accordingly. And for those of you that want to have more, then I'll leave links below to our wonderful Patreon channel with Zac, where we have years of transmissions, of meditations, and really the library is intense, is immense. So, Zac, thank you for all that you've shared over so many years, because we are truly blessed to have had the insights that you've been able to share with us so far. And we're very much looking forward to you being alongside us during 2026.
Mhm. And I do like the fact that you said intense first. Haha, yes, intense and immense. Yes, yes. What a library it now is. So, maybe we will populate Zach's portal many places on other places as well. But, right now, this is where to find it, isn't it? With
Yes,
you different Hazel. Here, Patreon. Here, whatever this thing is called. Ha ha. Yes,
this
yes.
is YouTube.
Good, 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 good. Yes, my dear. I leave you all now in balance and harmony. Enjoy, my dear. All
Yeah.
that is coming. Know it is for the good or betterment for yourself and for all. Goodbye,
Mm.
my dears. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Zach. Goodbye, everyone, and happy solstice as you really bring in all the light. Bye bye for now.